everyone, this is Siren and welcome back to my channel. I'm hoping everyone is enjoying their holiday, their Yule, Christmas, whatever you celebrate. I hope you're having a lovely time, and I also hope that you keep achieving your goals and you keep being happy and just following your dreams, okay? Yeah, with that being said, because I did not want to just start this video, just like all serious or random, since the Christmas is coming. I don't know when this video is going to be up, but I believe around Christmas, so yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Yule! So, today we are going to be looking at some decks, yay! I know you love that as much as I do. So yeah, we are going to be looking at some decks. Now, this is not actually something I have planned at all. Now I'm gonna tell you some stuff as usual, just a quick background if you will. I'm gonna try to keep it short because I know that it's like, who cares? But I recently went home to Latin America. I made quite a long trip, and I haven't been there in 6 years, and when I went there I really wanted to get one specific deck. By the way, I'm sorry if you hear my partner coughing. We got sick on the way back home, so sorry. I'm not coughing anymore, but he still is. Anyway, back to the point. When I went there, I really wanted to get one particular deck. I'm going to tell you which one in a moment, as usual. However, I somehow ended up getting a little more decks than I planned. Now, it's not all that I got them. Some of them were gifts. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you all about it while I'm gonna be showing you the decks, okay? But just like the quick background story time, whatever. So without further ado, grab yourself something delicious to drink, make yourself comfortable. Now, just a little side note, because I love side notes. I made myself coffee in this a very lovely transparent mug, because I kind of love transparent mugs. However, I did not realize that the actual liquid in it, like the actual coffee, is gonna be like, it's not a lot. And now it tastes like pretty strong, like taste-wise, so yeah, but anyway, I love coffee, so without further rambling, rather, let's get into the video. Okay, so I was a little bit too zoomed in, I believe. Sorry about that. Anyway, actually, another side note, I just realized that in one video, I believe it was the last one, it's been a while, but I said that this was not my altar. Well, now it kinda is. It is a space that I made for La Santa Muerta, who's my deity, because I promised her I would do that as soon as possible, basically as soon as I got home. So yeah, I don't think she's gonna stay in there because I want to get her another piece of furniture, but for now she's gonna be there, and yeah. So you have a little glimpse to my Santa Marta altar, yay! So, with that being said, I guess let's actually talk about decks and look at decks as I promised. But I talk a lot, so before I jump right into it, I have another thing to say, yay! You missed me, didn't you? So, okay, I just want to say I'm an extremely sensitive, emotional person, I said a few times, I know, but that also applies to stuff like details. Like, I love details, I love things that mean something, and therefore I really wanted to get a deck in Latin America, in Chile, where I went. I used to live there, by the way. This is why it's a very special place for me. And I really wanted to get a deck there because therefore I would kind of like emotionally tie it to a place, if you know what I mean. Because all of my decks, all of my tarot decks and oracle decks are bought online, except for one deck that I got when I was 12. Okay, why? Because in the country where I normally live, which is in Central America, Central Europe, you can't really get tarot or oracle decks like in person, like in stores. They used to sell them in bookstores, but not many of them, and lately when I visited bookstores I barely even found a Rider-Waite-Smith copy, which is like the iconic tarot deck. Okay, so if we don't have the iconic tarot deck here, like what else to expect, right? So yeah, now we can jump right in. I promise we are gonna begin. So, actually no. I'm so sorry. Actually, I have one more thing to say before I show you the first deck. Now, while I'm walking you through this, you can make your guess which deck I got, because it's actually pretty predictable, even though kinda paradoxical, and I did not expect that. But me, from before, would be surprised by what deck I got. But let me say one last thing before I show you. So usually I tend to bring a lot of decks with me when I travel, but I learned my lesson being that when I bring like 5 decks, I usually read with 1, if any, actually. So I learned my lesson and I was like, okay, for this trip, it's gonna be like hella long, I'm gonna bring just 1 deck, and I brought Quintessential Thought, which is the thought-based deck. Now, you probably already know where I'm going with this, but I acquired quite a love for Thought deck this year, like earlier this year, I don't remember when exactly. And I got like the large green box Thought, and it's over there, I can't show you now, but the thing is, I usually traveled with that one, but it's a huge deck, and I was like, I'm just gonna bring the small Quintessential with me, and once I arrive to Latin America, I'm gonna get a small version of Thought deck. Yes, that was the plan. That was the plan, because that was one deck that I actually was like missing in the Thought collection. Now, I'm doing like the Thought collection because if you really wanted to go wild on a Thought collection, you could get like 20 decks, okay? More or less. And also, again, jokes on me, because I'm the person, yes, I have to admit, I'm the person who said that I would probably not own different versions of one deck. Yeah, okay, again, jokes on me, because with Thought deck I have the green box, like the regular version, US Game Systems green box, then I have the vintage greenie from 83, and I have the, well, the Quintessential is not technically Thought, it's the Thought-based indie deck, but I got the small Thought. Yeah, I got it. I found it in Santiago, and there's actually a very special story with this one, because okay, let me just like, okay, let me open it while I talk, because I will just never show you the cards and I will just talk. I went to so many stores in Santiago. Now, I was pretty confident. This is just a booklet. I was pretty confident I would find stores with tarot decks. Why? Because it's Latin America, okay? Like the spirituality is a little bit more prevalent there than here where I live, for example. And also, it's a capital city. It has like 5 or 6 million people. Not sure. The point is, I was pretty confident. Now, I did find quite a few stores. However, when it comes to tarot decks and oracle decks, I did not really find many of them. There were like these weird versions in some stores, like not really originals, you know. And I am now kind of more, you know, experienced with actually seeing what's the real deck and what it's not. And the stores where I found actual, you know, original versions of decks, they didn't really have much of, you know, they didn't really have a huge variety of decks, which was pretty surprising to me, because it was like, why do you only have like 5 decks here? Like, come on now. But I, like, by the end of my trip, literally by the end, I was like, okay, that's it. I'm not gonna find any deck, you know. I found this store. It was a super small store, and the owner was like so lovely, and he had a cat, a white cat with like really blue eyes, who was like, he said that the cat is basically the owner, which was kind of funny, and I kind of can relate, and it was so lovely. And I walked into the store, and it had a few decks on display, you know, like on like shelves. There was one Thought deck. It's this one, and it's a small one, and I was like, I'm getting the deck. I'm getting the deck. So I got it. These are the backs, by the way. These are the backs that people are usually like mad about, because the circle is not a circle. So yeah, now I do own a deck. It's like oval first circle, and it has the, what is it called? The universal hexagram. card as well. Sorry if my hands are a little bit shaking. So yeah, I was pretty... Is it focusing or not at all? So I was pretty happy about... Let me fix it, okay. About seeing this one, the Universal Hexagram card, because you know that I was pretty sad about the large thought not having that card, because the large green box thought, that is the edition from 2024, 3, I forgot. It has the Crowley Harris card, but yeah, there is this one, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna show you the cards now, but I just want to say, I opened it, I actually asked this guy which language are the cards in, because the box, it says Aleister Crowley Thought Tarot. I'm sorry about the glare, oh my gosh, I'm so bad with this, sorry. But on the back, all the information is in Spanish, right? So I was like, which language are the cards in? Because usually when I was looking for the Thought deck here in Europe, I could only find the English version of Thought and a German version. And usually when I was looking for the small Thought online, when I was like just like eyeing the deck, I was finding the German one, and I was like, first of all, I don't speak German, and second of all, I'm really not a fan of it, you know, like no, I don't want to own a German deck, okay, so however, when it comes to Spanish, I was like, it would be so lovely if the deck was in Spanish, but the owner did not know. He was like, I'm not sure what language is it in, and I'm like, okay, never mind, I'm getting it, and I got the deck, and guess what? The cards are the titles are in Spanish. Oh my gosh, and I'm just like, is it focusing? And I'm so incredibly thrilled by this, because this just makes it even more special for me, you know, because first of all, yeah, by the way, I'm fluent in Spanish if I haven't mentioned, and second of all, I did not think, I would never think that I would actually find a Thought deck in Spanish. Like, I don't know, it was just so incredibly, it's just so incredibly special for me, you know. So actually hold on, because I'm just gonna change a little setting here so it actually focuses. Okay, I think it kind of changed my lighting situation, but let's continue with the cards. Okay, so it just makes the deck even more special for me, you know, given the fact that I found it in the place that I actually call home. It was the only deck, it was the only Thought deck that they had, and it's in Spanish. Like, come on now, it's just, it's perfect, guys, okay, it's so perfect. I don't know, I love it. I am sorry, I'm already throwing the cards down. Yeah, so I just love it so much. It's just so special for me, and I already did the like the welcoming ritual. I did the welcoming ritual with every deck I got, and I already started reading with it, and it's giving me such lovely, not like it's giving me lovely messages, but it's delivering the messages in such lovely way. Oh, it's so lovely. Anyway, it's a Thought, so I'm not gonna be continuing showing you like every card. It's basically the normal Thought deck, it's just in Spanish. Yay! And yeah, I'm just thrilled by this, okay? I'm thrilled because it's awesome. And here is the Ordo Templi Orientis card, by the way. Forgot to say. So yeah, it's also there. Yeah, so that is the deck that I got, the Thought deck in Spanish. So lovely. Okay, let me just put it back to the box, and let's proceed, because I have a feeling I have been talking forever, and I have a few more decks to show you, because oh, by the way, yeah, I haven't told you how many decks I got. Make a guess. I'm not gonna tell you. Okay, let me just fix the lighting, because now I feel like I'm way too pink. I mean, my hair is pink, but come on now, what is this light? You have to forgive me my lack of experience with the camera lighting. I'm maybe gonna learn someday. Maybe. Also, let me just have a sip of my coffee because I forgot I had it and it's probably gonna be cold as hell. Of course it is cold. Why did I say cold as hell? Anyway, let's continue. So, the second deck I got it from the very same store because I was like there, you know, just like I got a thought. I was like, I'm taking this one, but let me just take a look at your other decks. You know, I was just like talking to this guy, the owner of the store, and as usual, like something I realized is that people, when you walk to a spiritual or esoteric store that sells decks, the person, like the owner, usually asks you like, what are you looking for? And if you tell them that I'm looking for a tarot deck, they immediately go, yeah, do you have an experience? Because like I have this very, you know, very iconic Rider-Waite-Smith. And I was always like on the verge of laughing because if you know me at all, if not, I'm just gonna quickly tell you, I really don't like Rider-Waite-Smith. Like I'm sorry, I still don't like it. Now I was kind of thinking about maybe getting one in Chile, in Latin America, because I was like, okay, so would it hurt to own an actual copy of the iconic Rider-Waite-Smith? So I was open to that, and in that store I was like looking at decks, and of course the owner was like, look, this Rider-Waite-Smith is like really good, you know, it's like really it follows the original Pamela Smith Coleman artwork. And I was like, yeah, very beautiful. And also the person had a few Marseille decks, and you know what, I really wanted to get a Marseille deck for a long time because I was like, okay, I'm studying the thought and I really wanted to also get into Marseille or Marseille or however you read it, I'm not French. So I was like looking at the Marseille decks, and I said in a few videos that I really don't like Marseille, like not style, like I don't mind that it's a pip deck. I actually really enjoy and like the minor arcana of Marseille, but I really don't like major arcana. Like I find these images so ugly, it's awful, and therefore I could not bring myself to order any Marseille deck. But as I was there, I was like, okay, let me just look at some Marseille decks, right? And there was one Marseille deck that I actually could like open and like look at it, and I decided on the spot in there that okay, I'm getting a Marseille deck. It's not beautiful. Okay. Yeah, I'm so sorry. This is what I was thinking. Like it's not beautiful. It's not my style exactly. But there was one thing that got me kind of convinced on that one. First of all, I was there on the spot. I was like, I'm taking a Marseille deck, and the deck I chose for Marseille is this one. I'm not sure if you know it at all, because I am actually not at all an expert on Marseille decks. So it's called CBD Tarot de Marseille, Dr. Yoa. No, should I read it? Yoa Ben Do? I don't know. So yeah, that's the one that that made it. And I took it with me, and now it's gonna live with me, and now I'm gonna be reading Marseille. Now let me show you the cards. I took the guidebook out actually because it was like very poorly placed. It has this blank card, by the way. There is the presentation card or whatever. And these are the cards. Now the backs are terrible. Let me just tell you, like, I have such a love-hate relationship with this deck already, because I'm actually loving it, but also, like, look at the backs. They're just so ugly. I don't know. Is it focusing? It's just this. It's kind of. I'm not sure if the light isn't distorsionando. I don't know. The backs, if it's not like changing how it appears, it's like this light blue kind of a I don't know, pattern. Ugly, I'm sorry, it's ugly. And the cards themselves are, well, it's a Marseille. So the pips are incredibly beautiful in my opinion. As usual, I love Marseille pips, okay? But the majors, I'm sorry. It's just not at all. Why is it taking the focus away? Hold on. So yeah, the minor arcana very beautiful, the major arcana incredibly ugly. Like look at that. I'm sorry. I really hate really hate the majors in Marseille, but the minor arcana, it's just, I love it. I love it. And what made me actually buy it, now excuse me again, the lighting went crazy, but doesn't matter. What actually made me go for this one is the colors. Now I'm not sure which Marseille deck would be like the Marseille deck, but if you can see the colors here, like there is this pale blue, the red and the the black. Let me just quickly go through the incredibly ugly majors and go to minors. So the thing is, yeah, the minor arcana, let me just now there is not going to be a wands card or sword card, like here, look at it. Like the color palette of this, I don't know, it just vibes with me. I love the black and the pale blue and the red, just yeah, so that's it. So I got the Marseille deck, and I also already consecrated it and tried to read with it, and it's interesting. I haven't made, hold on, so I haven't actually made like very, you know, big readings with it or whatever, because I'm mostly reading with thought. However, again, as I said, I love and hate it. I love the fact that I got the Marseille and I got it on the spot, like, okay, like this is the one, okay, this is the one. Hating the majors, I'm sorry, yeah, I can't do shit about it. I don't know, maybe someday I will be like, it will somehow break me and I'll be like, it's so beautiful, such an incredible artwork, but it is not so far. However, I should say that when I first got the thought, I did not like the imagery, and now I love it. So maybe I will one day wake up and be like, this Queen of Cups, oh by the way, it's in French. Maybe one day I will wake up and be like, this Queen of Cups, is she focused? Is the most beautiful Queen of Cups I've ever seen. You know what, I wanted to say, yeah, probably not gonna happen, but at this point I don't dare to say that, because I change all the freaking time, and every time I say something, like, then I just like change it, you know, I'll do it or whatever. So that would be the Marseille. I'm gonna tell you how it goes if you want. So far I'm happy, I got it, very lovely. With these two, so the Thought and the Marseille, that would be it for the decks that I got for myself, the decks that I wanted. Now I really wanted this one, and this one was something I was looking for a while, okay? So these are the two that I got, and I was like, perfect, I got my decks, amazing. It was even if it was like not the last day, but the day before the last day. Sorry, English is not Englishing today. However, the last day, when I actually got sick, we already left, me and my partner, we already left the Airbnb, and we were like walking through the city a little, because we had flight like at night. So we were like walking, and we had lunch, etc. And we went to one bookstore because I really wanted to get a book. Actually, a book video is coming, because I also got a book that I'm really passionate about. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, however, I went to this bookstore, I was like looking at some books, etc. And when I was about to pay, I was literally standing like in the line to pay for the book. And I looked down, and guess what? tarot decks. I was with my partner, I was like, oh my gosh, like look, they're tarot decks. Like they're selling tarot decks in the bookstore. I have not thought about it. I was literally looking for, you know, actual esoteric shops. And there were tarot decks and I was like, whoa, and my partner was like, do you want some? And I'm like, do you want any? And I'm like, no, I'm fine with the two I got, you know. And as I was standing there, I was like looking at these decks and I was eyeing one and I didn't say shit, and my partner saw me like looking at this deck and he was like, I'm getting you that one. And I'm like, no, like I don't need it. And he's like, yeah, it's a gift from me, blah blah blah. Okay, so I was like, okay, whatever. So, yeah, so he got me a deck, and the deck in question is the strangest deck I have probably seen, and I'm not even sure if I'm actually gonna be able to read with it, so we will see. Anyway, the deck in question is this one. It's called El Gran Tarot Esotérico, so it would translate to like the big esoteric tarot. I don't know, if you know this deck, let me know. Here is the name of it. Yeah, it's in Spanish. It's printed in Spain, apparently. Look, I have no idea. I don't know anything about this deck. And why am I saying that it's the weirdest deck? Because it has these symbols all over it. I'm not even sure. It looks... I was gonna say it looks like it follows Rider-Waite-Smith system, but it's not. It looks more like Marseille, but also not really. Okay, let me just show you. I'm looking at it like by myself. Here is the card, the presentation card. Oh, the backs are absolutely stunning. I love these. Come on. Yeah, the backs, amazing. They're like symbols of... These are the planetary symbols. Yeah, very lovely. Okay, there's another presentation card apparently. It's this one. Sorry, I always come closer to the camera to see if it's focusing because I can't see shit actually. Yeah, by the way, I actually use glasses. You just never saw me using them, wearing them in here because I don't really like to wear them in public. Which is stupid because I should wear them all the time, but yeah, maybe someday you will see me with them. And these are the cards. Now the cards are actually still in order because I haven't consecrated these. I cleanse and consecrate every deck, so yeah. And I haven't consecrated these, so they're in Spanish as well. Also printed in Spain, apparently, the Spanish deck. So I think this, I mean, it is literally called El Gran Tarot Esotérico, so I think so. And you see, like, they have these symbols, and what's weird, okay, so what's weird is that, for example, the symbols are not put in places where I would expect them. Like, for example, the Emperor. There is a sun symbol in here. And like I could make something out of it, sure. However, I tend to... The symbol I have linked with the Emperor is Aries, you know, in Zodiac. So, the sun, I don't know. Or for example, yeah, there's something else, and I'm gonna tell you. Shelby, no. Sorry about the camera shaking, my cat is walking. So for example, this card, the Lovers, it's called Los Dos Caminos, which translates to two ways, or two paths, rather. And this looks very much like Marseille. Yeah, but something else I wanted to tell you. For example, this one, which would be the Chariot. The Chariot. Isn't this the Gemini sign? I believe it is, right? And why? I mean, maybe because of the two horses, but the Chariot is usually linked with Cancer in Zodiac, not Gemini. So, yeah, that's weird. Okay, so let me just skip the majors real quick and let's get to some minors. Okay, so the minor arcana, kind of pippish. But this is what I love. See, this is something that really struck my attention. I don't know, just the pips. There's something about pips that always calls me, so I'm hoping I can get something out of this. Let's get to the cups. Now, very weird, interesting but rather weird thing. The cups are empty, which again, something pretty weird. And the weirdest thing about this deck is that the swords are probably related to water here instead of air. And why am I saying that? Only based on imagery. Because there is water portrayed in every single sword card. And like, what is that? Like, why? 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 You know? So I'm gonna try to learn about this deck. I'm gonna try to find some information about this deck because this is freaking weird. Like, come on. Isn't it? So weird. So yeah, again, let me just put it back to the box. I'm hoping I'm not blurry all the time, because also by the time I started recording it was kinda, there was some sort of light, the natural light, mi amor, outside, but now it's not, because I'm back in Europe and it's a depressing winter here, meaning there is no light. Hola mi amor. What? He's just walking around and he's gonna knock my camera off. Okay, so I realize my camera really likes focusing on my altar, which, I mean, I get it, it's pretty, but I'm here now and trying to talk to you, so come on. And the last deck, because yeah, I got 4 decks. Which, how many did you guess? Let me know down below in the comment section. So the last and 4 deck was also bought, gifted to me actually in the very same bookstore. By my partner at the same moment, because I was eyeing the Grand Tarot Esoterico. And there was this one deck, kind of next to it, not exactly next to it, but like a little bit more over there. And this was the one that he like looked at and he was like, this deck looks like you. I'm getting it for you. Also, by the way, the prices were like normal, not extremely extreme. Okay, if you're wondering, it was a pretty normal price because these decks are mass produced, so yeah. But anyway, he was like, this deck looks like you, I'm getting it for you. And I couldn't say no, because I looked at it and was like, yeah, I see what you mean, I see what you mean. And the deck in question is this one. It's called Tarot, what is it called? But okay, I'm sorry, it's also in Spanish, it's also printed in Spain. It says Tarot de el Dios de los Tres. Again, I don't know shit about this deck, but the box is kind of pinkish. It has like a lot of stuff, you know, on it, and there are skulls in there. So can you see how my aesthetics is like all over it? So these are the bags. Totally loving it. And I also, this deck is also in order, because also I still haven't cleansed and consecrated it. I only managed to do it with the Thought and the Mercy. And these are the cards. Now, I believe I said, yeah, they're in Spanish. And I believe I said that I don't know shit about this deck. Therefore, there is a lot of like imagery that I have no idea why it was chosen, and I'm hoping I'm gonna be able to find some information, because oh yeah, something I forgot to say, both booklets for these decks, I took them out. I have them obviously on a shelf, but I took them out because they did not fit into the box well, you know. So I mean, look at it, isn't it pretty? And like those people are pink. Oh, by the way, I don't like seeing people in cards, but I don't mind with this deck, nor with the other one, the El Gran Tarot de Esoterico. But we are gonna see again how it goes. And I'm really curious about how this is gonna read. Because like, there is a lot, like look at that. Like there's just a lot happening in the cards, you know. But I love the fact that it's so colorful, because I always tend to say that I love colors, you know, in decks. I really do. So yeah. Okay, let's jump into, okay, let's look at this. Okay, let's look at the death, that is the goddess Kali. And now let's jump to some minors. For example, the pentacles, okay. Yeah, by the way, every suit, something I realized when I flipped through this deck is that every suit has different background color. So like pentacles are pink, then the, what is it called? Cups, sorry. The cups have blue background. Okay. And then the swords have purple background. I'm trying to get the camera to focus like continuously, but it's pretty hard. Should I like come here so my altar doesn't get in the way? Okay, and the wands have sort of a red background. Fire background. Okay, so again, I'm not gonna be showing you the entire deck. I'm most probably gonna be featuring these decks again on the channel. Let me know which deck would you like to see a little bit more. And yeah, but I think I'm gonna be featuring them because they are weird. So there is that. Okay, so these two are my gifts. El Gran Tarot de Esoterico and Tarot de El Dios de los Tres. So with that being said, I said this like 4 times in this video. My camera is currently overheating, so I'm gonna finish this video and finish my incredibly cold coffee. Let me know if any of these decks were a surprise to you in terms of the deck coming into my collection. Any of these decks being like, why would you get that one? Or like, this one doesn't go with you. Okay, so my camera actually did turn off due to overheating. So I'm here again and I'm gonna try to make it quick. So thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for watching the video. Let me know which deck would you like to see more on my channel, or if you want, you know, a reading with some of these or whatever. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm always happy to read your comments. And yeah, happy holidays. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the season. Try to do something that makes you happy, because after all, the world is a shitty place and we have to find ways to somehow enjoy it anyway, right? So yeah. If you like this video, please leave a like, it means a lot to me. Also consider subscribing. I guess it would be it, so stay kind and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye. Was my camera really focusing on the Santa Muerte altar all the time as I was saying happy holidays to you? Of course it was. Of course it was. But anyway, never mind. Okay, bye.